Hey guys, welcome to the video. I've had a lot of things going on in my life recently and I want to share the greatest thing that has been happening. I made a film and this, in my opinion, is the greatest thing that I've made creatively so far. So to give you a little bit of context, early in the year I had the opportunity to film for my friends Bryce and Nellie Jergy. There were some complications, but everybody's fine. They're in Alaska right now. They're just adventuring and just living their best life. I'm so happy for them. I love watching them explore with their baby. Like it just makes me so happy. So fast forward to about 3 weeks ago, Bree sent me a direct message basically asking if I would mind filming their birth experience, and I said yes. I've had some people ask me if I would film theirs and I've said no to them, but for whatever reason I just felt like I needed to say yes to Bree and Derek. They're great people. I've met them one time before. We have some friends in common and I just jumped on it and I said yes. Between the time she asked me to film and her having the baby was about 2 days, and within those 2 days I was kind of freaking out because I just realized that I said yes to something that I don't have the proper gear for. James dropped this camera and the focus motor is no bueno, it's not working. And we always speak on the best camera is the one that you have on you. My option was to use my phone or to use this point and shoot, and I decided to use this point and shoot, and I filmed the entire thing on a Sony RX100 Mark V. This little camera is amazing. It has an f-stop of 1.8, so it was really good for low light. I was actually able to control the focus. Honestly, I was kind of skeptical about using the Sony point and shoot, but I used it. The film was great. So birthing day comes. Bree texts me. I actually live about an hour and a half from them, so she texted me in just enough time that I was able to get to the hospital. She had the baby naturally, which is like freaking amazing. I just like, wow. As soon as the baby was born, I counted. I have the footage and everything, obviously, because I made the video, but it was about 45 seconds from baby coming out to baby Bree's chest to them taking the baby away. He had a pretty serious birth defect to where the top of his esophagus and the bottom, they weren't connected, so it was really hard for him to obviously eat. He couldn't eat and breathing was super hard, so they took the baby via life flight very soon after he was born down to Salt Lake City, and Derek was in the helicopter, and it was just a chaotic day. It was insane. Now I do have a little bit of experience, it's kind of weird saying that, of like, you know, emergency birthing situations, and the way that my mind gets is just, it's like a state of shock. I'm an extrovert, so the way that I process things is through speaking, and I called James as soon as I could, and I just spoke to him and I just was like, hi. And I didn't know what to say. It was kind of crazy, and when those things happen, it happened with Nellie, it happened with Bree, I just kind of go into the zombie mode. But now, about 3 weeks later, I feel like I'm in the headspace where I can communicate everything that I was feeling and why I was feeling it. One big thing that I learned is, after reviewing the footage, it's very quiet. The entire process is such a super quiet process. The other thing that I felt like was really tough for me is I have to watch this family go through the worst day of their life and stick a camera in their face, essentially. I'm not like all up in their grill necessarily, especially during the moments where they're holding their son for the first time right before he goes onto life flight, but it's just those moments where you're watching these people and you're holding the camera up and you're capturing the events. Like, it's sensory overload, and when you're in the middle of it, you're just going. Like, you need to get the shots, you need to tell the story, you need to capture stuff. But when you get a second, or when I got a second to sit down and like think about what was happening, that's when I go into shock mode of like, holy crap, what did I just do? Like, what did I just experience? And the last epiphany that I had was actually today, this morning. I'm sure that I'll have more epiphanies, but you have to find the balance between being a videographer and being a storyteller versus being a friend. Mind you, Bree and I only met for like 45 minutes one time before this. So I'm put in this position to this woman that I don't know very well. I'm now watching her go through the worst day of her life, and there were a lot of moments where it was just me and Bree in the same room, and those were also super tough for me, because it's like, what do I say? I don't want to make it worse, I want to make it better, but what do I say to make it better? Like, I can't bring her son back from the helicopter, so a lot of times I would just not talk about it and just talk about something else, or I would go from that end of the spectrum to being super encouraging and telling her how I experienced troubles in my life and how when bad things happen, they always happen at the same time, and when good things happen, they always happen at the same time. I don't know what I was saying. I felt like it was just garbage coming out of my mouth, but hopefully it was super encouraging to her. I think finding that balance as a creator is super important, especially when you're documenting somebody's journey, because when you are able to become their friend, when you're able to make them laugh, that's when you get them to really open up and relax in front of the camera and like express really deep things or really funny things. That's just when you get the real emotion, is when you become their friend. Overall, it really was such a crazy experience. I'm grateful that I was able to share that. I'm grateful that I was able to give that gift of a birth film to the Millers. Like, they're such amazing people. This summer, maybe fall, probably fall, we're gonna go and we're gonna eat s'mores. I keep reminding them of that because they have a really nice backyard and I really like s'mores. But it was just overall like a great experience. I mean, it wasn't great that their son was sick, but their son is better. He's back home now. Everything's just peachy. It's just a good time. And it was all shot on a point and shoot camera, which I can't even say that I wouldn't recommend it, because honestly, this camera is a beast and it really did the job. It got this super buttery slow motion. I was able to get the right focus. It was crispy. It was just like, shout out to Sony for making good products. Anyway, like I said, I'm an extrovert, so speaking about these things is like the best way for my brain to process it. So thank you for listening to this video. I know it's a little bit different of a video that we normally make, but I feel like you guys would be interested in the journey of what I filmed. Like, that was such a good video. Not to brag, but to brag, because it was such a good video. Holy crap. If you guys haven't seen the video, I'll link it on the first line of the description below. But that's all I have to say. I just wanted to kind of brain vomit and just word vomit. Is it word vomit, brain vomit, or mouth vomit? Mouth vomit is kind of redundant. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you, the engagement that we have in the comments below. By the way, comment things down below so we can have engagement. Instagram things, just like I love the internet. I love the people that I've met on the internet because of the internet. I just love the World Wide Web. I actually have a shirt, it's dirty. It says I love the World Wide Web. But with all that said, thank you again for watching. Have a fantastic day. Goodbye!